Okay, let's keep reading Jane Doe and the Cradle of All Worlds. We are up to the chapter called Escape.
Free.
We stagger through the train, led by Roth, herded by our leatherhead guards. Every carriage is the same, blinking lights and human stains, prisoners cowering in the corners. Hickory has been left behind. The leatherheads open and shut doors for us as we go. Each time we're shoved into the roaring wind between the carriages, I consider grabbing Dad and jumping, taking our chances with the fall. But even if we somehow manage to survive, Roth would just come tumbling after us. Then there's the matter of the key. We can't leave without Hickory. "Where are you taking us?" Dad shouts. "We don't know where the keys are." I'm sure I hear Roth laugh at this, or what passes for a laugh when your mouth's been rotted away, a guttural rasping chuckle that makes you want to clear your throat. In another carriage now, and I'm trying to come up with a plan. We have to make sure Roth doesn't get his hands on Hickory and the key. But how? It's just me and Dad. There aren't even any prisoners left alive in this carriage to help us. I've never seen so much death. And then I see the girl through one of the barred windows at the end of the carriage. A flash of her face and she's gone. But then a hand, 5 fingers flashing twice. She said she was helping us. But what the hell does that signal mean? Hi there? 10 leatherheads? 10 seconds. The train squeals around another bend and I make my move. Grab Dad and pull him down in the flickering light. A leatherhead tries to grab us. Roth steps in too, but the 10 seconds is up. A metal canister flies through the window and clatters along the floor between the bodies. I throw myself on top of Dad in case there's an explosion, but an explosion never comes, at least not one of fire. With a loud pop, the carriage becomes a cloud. It's a smoke bomb. Footsteps on the roof. The leatherheads retaliate with a round of gunfire, but they're firing blind. I crawl away from them, hauling Dad along with me over and around the dead bodies, through the smoke and the noise and the gunfire, all rat-a-tat. The sliding side door screeches open. A gust of howling wind clears the smoke, and we're 2 sitting ducks. Thankfully, Roth and the leatherheads are too busy worrying about the girl to pay us any attention for the moment. They edge towards the open side door, don't even notice the grenade pop through the barred window behind them till it's too late. This time, there's an explosion. Me and Dad are far enough away to avoid being hurt, but the leatherheads aren't so lucky. One of them is blasted clean through the open door. The other hits the side and gets sucked out a second later. Roth merely staggers, catches a handle, steadies himself and spins around. He advances on the girl in the window. She has a gun, fires once, twice, 3 times. The blasts hitting him in the chest, the stomach, forcing him back closer and closer to the open door. But it isn't enough. I scramble to my feet and run at him, yelling, "Shoot him in the face! The face!" The girl fires again and shoots Roth square in the mask. It shatters, but he spins around before we can see the horror beneath. He's teetering on the edge now. I don't stop, keep running, throw the full force of my weight into his. As expected, it's like hitting a brick wall, but it's enough. I bounce back into the carriage. Roth tumbles out the door. Just another blur. When Dad helps me up, I'm a huffing and puffing wreck, sucking down the Roth-free air. "Don't you ever do anything like that again," he says, but he smiles and hugs me. The girl swings down into the carriage, throws Dad a spare rifle. "Get a move on." "Thanks for coming back." He pulls some kind of latch on the rifle, checks the sight thingy. "You destroyed the brakes?" The girl nods. "After I pulled the train on full throttle, raided their weapons, cache, stole some explosives, took out a carriage of leatherheads too." "Very good," Dad says, genuinely impressed. But he's missing the point. "Good," I say. "We need to stop this thing and get off it, not make it go faster." The girl throws me a pistol. I counted 18 carriages, including the engine car. We're slightly closer to the back of the train, so that's the way to go. "Excuse me?" We climb onto the roof and run. "You want us to run along the roof of a speeding train filled with bad guys. That's your big plan. And what do we do once we get to the end?" Disconnect the carriage, Dad says. Watch as the rest of the train speeds away. What about Roth? I ask. The fall couldn't have killed him. We'll have put enough distance between us by the time we get down there, the girl says. We'll jump off the train and duck away from the tracks as soon as we start slowing down. Lose him in no time. You two managed to get the key back yet? Hickory has it, I say. He fought the bounty hunter, picked his pocket right before Roth. Well, I'm not exactly sure what Roth did to him. Fried his brain. He can do that? Yes, unfortunately, Dad says. He gets inside your mind. He can tear it apart in no time. The good news is he doesn't already have the second key. I'm about to ask Dad how he knows this when he says, while he was reading me, Roth told me what he wants. The keys, plural. He's no closer to the cradle than we are. Where's the second key? The girl asks. Elsa has it, Dad says and turns to me. She survived a long time in here before the Spectre found her. When we found each other in the grip, she told me. Later, the girl says, and not in front of me or anyone else. If Roth can read minds, the less we know about the keys, the better. Right now, we head up to the roof, stay low and move fast. We'll find Hickory and the first key as we go. Hang on, I say. Who put you in charge? Who are you? The girl shuffles her feet impatiently. After a deep breath, she says, It's me, Jane. You're going to have to be more specific than that. The girl undoes her scarf, pulls the lower half under her chin and the top half back over her hair. It's dark and long and tied back in a braid. I stare at her and she stares at me and she looks so familiar. It's crazy, but she can't be. Violet, she says. But I still say, Violet who? She rolls her eyes. How many Violets do you know, Jane? 1, I say, and she's 8. The girl steps back to the door. Not anymore, she says, and swings out into the wind. A change of plan. So, we're crouched on the roof of the train, hands and feet spread wide against the tilt and shudder of the carriage. The wind flaps our clothes and whips our hair and roars in our ears, trying to snatch us up and slam us into the manor walls speeding by. Guns at the ready, the crazy girl who reckons she's Violet shouts. We move as fast as we can, keeping an eye out for low-hanging chandeliers and archways, ducking whenever they whoosh by. The candles and torches in the corridor keep trying to relight themselves as we thunder past, but they don't stand a chance. Only the odd flash of sparks and the electric glow seeping from the train windows show us what's what. The first jump's the hardest. Even with the wind at our backs, one slip and we're train feed. The girl who can't be Violet soars over the gap. Me and Dad make the jump together. One down, too many more to go. The train speeds into a new corridor. Chandeliers zip by over our heads with a shoom, shoom, zoom. Another low archway and we're charging through a vast pillared hall. Torches flicker to life beyond the grip of the wind. We scramble on, the girl swinging over the edge of every carriage looking for Hickory through the windows. Dad says, Where the hell is he? I say, Maybe he's already down the back of the train, but inside, like a normal person. I don't think anyone hears me. In the end, it's Hickory who finds us, 6 or so carriages from the end. He clambers onto the roof ahead with the bounty hunter's whip lopped around his shoulder, a gun in his hands and 3 leatherheads hot on his tail. Dad and the girl raise their weapons. So do I. So I do as well. The girl shouts at Hickory, tells him to get down, and he dives. Rifles fire. My pistol clicks. By the time I've finished cursing the damn thing, the leatherheads have all been blasted clear. Guns, I've decided, are the worst. The girl smacks Hickory with the butt of her rifle. Dad punches him, takes his gun and rummages through his pockets. Finds the key and shoves it into my hands with a quick don't lose it. I tuck the key back into my pocket and point my pistol at Hickory. What are you going to do with that? He says. Throw it at me? So I throw it at him. Clock him a good un right in the face too. He yelps and the pistol clatters over the side of the train. The girl glares at me. I shrug. It was broken anyway. Stop bloody hitting me, Hickory shouts, clutching his nose. We need to go, now. Then we see them, a troop of leatherheads climbing onto the roof of the last carriage, running and leaping towards us. And there, rising and striding among them with his blades glinting like fangs, Roth. He must have grabbed hold of the last carriage after he fell. His clothes are torn, but he's wearing a new mask. Needless to say, he looks furious. Run, Dad shouts, handing Hickory back his gun. Go, go, go! We make like rabbits into the wind, heading towards the front of the train, back the way we came. The jumps are harder now. We have to take them at a sprint, and I can see Dad's energy is fading fast. I ask the girl if she has a new plan, and she says, get to the front, the engine car, detach it, speed away. But Hickory shuts her down. Can't speed away, he shouts over his shoulder. We're coming up to the spiral road. The what? The spiral road. He spins around, tells us to duck, blows away a leatherhead that's popped up right behind us. It's a bloody road in a spiral, big one, going down. If the train takes it at this speed, even the engine carriage alone will derail, Dad says. We don't have a choice, the girl shouts. We'll just have to figure out a way to slow down once we're far enough away from Roth. Oh, this'll end well, I mutter. Leatherheads pop up in front of us, at our side, swinging fists and machetes, snatching at our heels. When we jump, carriage after carriage, bounty hunters join the fray, streaming from their carriage up near the front of the train, blocking our path. Nobody shoots at us, though. Roth still doesn't know where the key is. He needs us alive and kicking. Heads up, Dad shouts, and the train speeds through another giant's mouth, clotheslining a bunch of unwary bad guys from our path. Chandeliers whoosh and whistle above our heads. We duck and dodge them, slowing down. Roth takes the occasional bullet, but never stops. He's taking his time because time is all he needs. He's gaining on us. But Hickory always has a plan. He unravels the bounty hunter's whip, spins around and lashes it out. Roth blocks the blow. The whip wraps around his forearm and he just stands there, eyes blazing. Hickory salutes him and smiles. Sorry, boss. He tosses the whip handle. It catches on a passing chandelier, snagging Roth like a fish on a line, yanking him back, taking out a whole line of leatherheads behind him as the train speeds on. He doesn't manage to free himself till he's hanging over the last carriage. He rolls and tumbles, clings to the end just in time. Hickory's given us one hell of a break. The train speeds into a different high-vaulted corridor. We're on the second carriage now. Smoke and steam trails through the air around us from the engine car up ahead. 2 more jumps and we're there. Dad's limping badly, soldiering on. The girl's holding her own in a fist fight with a bounty hunter, having lost her gun. Hickory sprints ahead and drops out of sight between the carriages. He's going to separate them. And it's a good thing too, because Roth's charging towards us now, bowling over any leatherhead stupid enough to get in his way. He'll be on us any second. The carriage jerks. We stumble. Hickory's done it. The engine car and the first carriage are already pulling away. The girl disposes of her bounty hunter with a roundhouse kick, and the 3 of us make the jump, our longest yet. Dad cries out when we land on the first carriage, nearly slips over the edge, but I grab him. He's sweaty, shaking, face screwed up in pain. What's wrong? I ask. Are you hurt? I'm okay, he says. Compared to your singing, it's nothing. Oh, okay, wait, what? You hate my songs? Bluebird in the basement, Scraps for tea, the coconut song, rat poo in the corner on a sunshiny day. You're many things, Jane, he winks at me. A great singer ain't one of them. I've never been so insulted in my life, which is saying something. We'll discuss this later, I tell him, and he chuckles. We clamber down to Hickory by the carriage door, us and the girl, watch as the rest of the train slowly falls behind us. 3 metres, 5 metres, sparks from the dangling chains scatter along the tracks between the carriages. 7 metres, 10. I'm about to breathe a sigh of relief when I see him, Roth, coming right for us. Dad and Hickory empty their guns, spraying him with bullets that might as well be flies. The rat-a-tat-tat-tats blast our ears. He can't make it, I say. He won't try it, the girl says. But he does. The spiral road. Inside the carriage now, some sort of armoury. I think. We lock the door behind us just as the force of Roth's impact buckles the rusty roof above our heads. He made it. Great, I say. What now? But nobody has a chance to answer because there's a noise outside, a whistling squeal. Hickory says, uh-oh, and the train takes a hard, constant right, the force of the bend throwing us against the left-hand wall of the carriage, a blur of stone through the small circular windows at our backs. Across from us, nothing but empty space. I crawl towards them, fog the glass with my breath and wipe it clear again. Bloody hell. We've hit the spiral road. An enormous domed ceiling above us, a cavernous circular shaft below that's so wide and deep I can't even see the bottom. The train-tracked road winds down its side, past arches and doors, and the whole shaft's lit by thousands of torches flickering to life, looping around and down, getting smaller, getting hazier, till they're swallowed by the gloom. We're headed the same way, already picking up speed, sparks flying. Hickory and Dad were right. We're going to derail. You know, it really is a pity you destroyed the brakes, I tell the girl. And that's when Roth swings down in front of the window. He smashes his fist through the glass, grabs my tunic, the rancid air hitting us, and we choke and cough. My skin prickles, my eyes water. Dad tries to pull me away. The girl punches Roth's arm, but it's useless. He pulls me right up to the broken window, right up to his half-masked face, the air between us alive with his heat-shimmer breath. His icy eyes meet mine for just a second, and I can feel it. I know it. Somehow he knows I have the key. I shove my leg against the wall and push. My tunic tears and we all fall back in a spluttering heap. Roth slips out of sight, back to the roof, heading for the door. But Hickory's already there, throwing his weight against it. The door shakes and trembles as Roth tries to pound his merry way inside. The grimy window shatters. The metal bulges. I'm about to leap over there when I notice a pool of blood on the floor, a dark red stain spreading down Dad's legs, a gash across his thigh. A leatherhead must have got him with its blade. I try to help him, but he swipes my hand away. It's nothing, he says, even though it's definitely something. Go, I'm fine. I throw my weight beside Hickory and tell the girl to hurry. She's searching through the crates stacked further down the carriage. She finds another gun, checks the ammo. The door shudders. The lock snaps off and rattles past our feet. Roth forces the door open, just enough to get an arm in. I figure we're all done and dusted when the girl shoulders her rifle and heaves something else from the crate. Loads it, rests it on her other shoulder and aims. It's a goddamn bazooka. Move, she shouts, and me and Hickory dive clear. She pulls the trigger the moment the door flies open. The rocket blasts through the carriage, a loud streak of smoke. Roth ducks just in time and it explodes on the wall outside. A deafening blast that rocks the carriage and topples Roth off the back. I cheer and shove a fist into the air. But then I swear, because we haven't lost him yet, he's bouncing along the tracks, clinging to the dangling chain, hauling himself closer, hand over hand, back towards the carriage. Doesn't this guy ever stop? Come on, the girl yells, throwing the bazooka aside. She opens the forward door and we're assaulted by wind, smoke and steam. The chugging of the train, the whoosh, whoosh whistle of passing archways. There's a coal compartment on the back end of the engine car. The girl leaps onto it, turns back, leans down between the carriages and tries to disconnect them. Hickory runs to help, telling us to move it or lose it. I lend Dad a shoulder. We run, stumble after them as the train tilts dangerously, the right side wheels leaving the tracks for a second before crashing back down. We bump into a barrel. Dad cries out, tightens his grip on my shoulder. Glancing back, I catch sight of Roth's hand reaching up through the sparks, grabbing onto the train. I pick up the pace. We're almost there. 3 meters, 2. We get to the door and Dad collapses. I try to pull him up, but he pulls me down instead, shouts in my ear, Jane, no. Yes, I shout over him. You can do it. You have to. Roth's heaving himself up now, getting to his feet. The girl aims her gun at him, thinks twice, aims it down between the carriages instead. Get your butts over here. She pulls the trigger. The chain snaps. Cables fly. Both she and Hickory reach down to unlatch the carriages. I tell them to wait. Elsa, Dad shouts into my ear, but I can barely hear him over the noise. When I found, in the grip, she a hiding place, river of waterfalls. Why is he talking? You need to jump. You need to go. You need to jump. The pin's been pulled, jolting the carriage. We're slowing down, falling back. Hickory and the girl scream at us, tell us to jump. Roth's charging through the carriage now, but Dad just pulls me closer. You need both keys. Open the cradle. Find Elsa. Only way. The second key. He's saying goodbye. I can see it in his eyes. No, Dad. Get to the cradle. Slow you down. I love you, Jane. Then he catches me off guard, cries out, stands up, lifts and throws me from the carriage with every bit of strength he can muster. I catch a glimpse of Roth leaping over a barrel, of Sparks and the spiral road speeding by, of Hickory and the girl reaching out, grabbing me, pulling me onto the bed of coal. We fall back, a flurry of limbs and shouting. Hickory has me in a headlock. The girl's arms are around my waist. I try to break free, but it's useless. We're already speeding away from the carriage. All I can do is watch as Dad turns around in that shrinking rectangle of a door to face Roth, and it's like I'm back at the base of the sacred stairs with the mayor holding me back, watching his men go after him with guns. Only this is worse, much worse. Dad throws himself into Roth. I feel the fear, the panic, the anger swelling inside me. The engine car trembles. I can feel the spiral road shaking beneath us. I'm causing another quake, another big quake, and we're surrounded by stone. That's when she does it, when the girl pulls out a knife and digs it into my bandaged palm, reopening the wound, spilling the furious tide. She grabs my left wrist with both hands and holds it over the back of the train. My blood catches in the wind. The pain's excruciating, blinding. Somehow I can feel every drop of blood hitting the spiral road, ripping it apart in our wake. I feel the stone bending the tracks behind us, making Dad's carriage sway, first towards the void of the spiral, then rocking back the other way. It lurches, tips, derails, crashes and skids along the outside of the road, smashing through pillars and archways, exploding through the stone. Hickory pulls us back. We collapse onto the coal, and I catch a glimpse of Roth through my tears, leaping from the carnage with Dad slung over his shoulders, through an upturned window, out of sight. Our little engine car sways but sticks to the tracks. We chug on, careering down the spiral, away from the wreckage. I bunch my tunic into my fist, try to stop the blood, try to stop crying, but I can't. Roth still has Dad, and this chase ain't over yet. That's the problem with spirals. What goes around, comes around. The road beneath the derailed carriage is littered with rubble and debris from the crash, and we're looping around the bend, already speeding towards it. Hickory and the girl yell, "Hold on!" and we crash through the fallen chunks of rock, through boulders, over scraps of metal. I'm thrown forward through the coal. My head hits something hard, and then nothing.